Ah, ahoy! I'm just reading this article talking about Wii Sports and how it was a revolutionary title despite it being only a tech demo that was bundled with the Wii, a console that shaped an entire generation. A game that managed to be incredible fun to both hardcore gamers and first-timers of all ages with its simplistic controls. A game that even to this day people can still play and have fun with it. Everyone and their mother knows about Wii Sports and most likely experienced it in some way. Reports were made of babies born in 2006 holding Wii remotes ready to play some golf. Everyone knows this game, everyone knows how good it is, and is there any point to making a review about it in some arbitrary year, say 2023? It says no. I'm still gonna do it. Gosh, I miss 2006. It was this year on November 19th that the Wii was released and would become one of the most successful video game consoles of all time. People try to dog it retrospectively, but god damn it, I don't listen to those people. The Wii was a great console, and where it lacked in power, it made up for in fun. Even right from the get-go, as with every Wii console, was Wii Sports packaged in. A game that was really important in establishing what the Wii was going to be. Fun for everybody. Nintendo shifted its focus towards the whole family and was hell-bent on making the Wii easy to play. Buttons are intimidating to mom and dad, so just give them a stick to shake. The Wii having motion controls was something that was a bit polarizing. While some thought it was a bit too gimmicky, others thought it was an exciting and unique way to play games. But leading up to the release of the Wii was a lot of excitement. The futuristic controls of swing the controller in real life, swing the racket in-game was appealing to everybody. Plus, Nintendo had Japanese businessmen visit every house in America to play on the Wii, except for mine apparently. I'm still waiting. Now, Wii Sports came in this little sleeve. I do wish it came in a proper box because the sleeve was easy to damage. I did a great number on mine, messing it up with some tape. I did a decent job at fixing the logo, but I apparently gave up once I got to the baseball. Wii Sports is the greatest pack-in game of all time, which is crazy to say considering that this is pretty much just a tech demo. Wii Sports, I believe, was super important in establishing credibility towards the Wii, and it's hard not to talk about what this thing did for the Wii. But let's brush that off to the side for a second and enjoy this absolute gift that Nintendo gifted us, and also take a look at why I always felt like the coolest kid. Can't believe this thing is 4 years away from being old enough to drink. The first thing I want to say about Wii Sports is that Nintendo did not need to go so hard on the soundtrack for this game. The game has a small OST, but it's effective and gives off a chill, not so serious 40 vibe, and plus, it's a bop. Here we have our main menu where we get to select which of the 5 sports we want to jump into. After selecting our game, we are asked how many players are playing because the game is really all about the multiplayer. While Wii Sports is fun on its own, it's even more fun when you have people, which is what Nintendo was really trying to push for in this generation. Multiplayer. You'll have to take the word on it because actions speak louder than words, as they will shove it down your throat how this console's about getting the whole family together, yet we still only came with one Wiimote. So after selecting the number of players, it's time to choose our Mii. We either get to use standard pre-made ones, or if we want to spend some time in the Mii channel creating our own little avatars, we can use those. Which was always one of the coolest things about the Wii, being able to make your friends and family and seeing all of them appear on the screen. In Wii Sports, the Miis also act as profiles that track your progress in the games. Which is also why the game yells at you anytime you think of aborting one of them. There was also an option here to import a Mii from a Wiimote, meaning take your Mii, put it inside the Wii remote, and use the remote at someone else's house to use your Mii. Did anyone actually do this? See, this idea probably sounded cool at Nintendo HQ, but in practice, why? Miis take a minute at most to make, and no one's ever gonna pull up to anyone's house and be like, don't worry guys, I brought my Mii. Anyway, with Mii selected, it's time to press the A and B buttons at the same time and jump into the games. First up is tennis, probably the first game anyone thinks of when they think about Wii Sports. To play, all you simply have to do is take the Wii remote in your hand and swing it like a tennis racket. You don't control the Mii's movement, they move on their own, so it's purely up to you to just hit the ball. There is some strategy here where you decide whether or not to hit the ball with the more forward player by swinging earlier, but other than that, how's the gameplay? It's pretty dull. Oh god, did I just say something bad about Wii Sports? Listen, I don't want to feel this way, but I can't help but notice that when I was playing tennis, I was honestly feeling pretty bored. They could have at least had some kind of music playing to let me at least vibe out or something. Now, in the sense of multiplayer, the game is a lot more interesting, but that is the case with a lot of games. But single player wise, it's actually something I'd skip. But hey, you know what always made me feel like the coolest kid? If you press 1 and 2 at the same time during the loading screen, you get to play on a blue court. It did not help much. Next sport on our list is baseball, and this is probably my least favorite game of the package. Listen, Wii Sports Baseball, it's nothing personal. If you approached me on the street and waved at me, I'd wave back. I just don't really care for baseball games because they are only engaging half the time, and the other half is you trying to rush through it to get back to the first half. Batting is the fun part of baseball games, while pitching is you just trying to get quickly through it so you can bat again. Sure, some games made the actual fielding part fun like Mario Baseball, but Wii Sports Baseball just has you throw the ball and watch the Miis without legs hop around and do all the fielding themselves. The controls for pitching are simply just lunging the Wiimote forward, but regardless, if you go all out or put in absolutely minimal effort, the speed of the ball does not feel like it changes. If the opponent hits the ball, you don't control the fielder, so you're just watching these poor legless souls taking their damn sweet time hopping towards the ball.
They're legless, what am I expecting?
See, batting is fun. Swing the Wiimote like a baseball bat and see if you can hit the ball and not get out. Watch the fielders hop towards the ball, pick it up, and the announcer tells you whether it's a single, double, triple, or a home run. And then you see the Miis you were using lose the legs and hop through the bases. The games are all 3 innings, and if the score is tied after 3 innings, then the game ends in a tie, which is kinda lame.
They couldn't just add extra innings?
Now what redeems baseball is the overall presentation. The way the game starts by showing the entire lineup looking at you as you zoom through, the organ sound effects throughout, and the fact that when your characters do have legs, they have pinstripe pants, which is a detail that I weirdly appreciate even though I'm not a baseball fan. Also, this is the only game that features the Miis you create as your fellow CPUs, which is also pretty fun and gives this game a lot of charm. But gameplay wise, it's fine.
Hey Wii Sports, what's Master of Quack?
Single! Alright, we are going from my least favorite to my absolute favorite, bowling. Bowling is my favorite game to play, mostly because A, bowling is just very fun in general, and B, is that it required a little bit more than just motion controls. I had to use buttons? To bowl, you first aim your throw by using the D-pad and the A button, and then you press the B button while winding back and lunge forward as you release the B button to send your ball flying. Just don't release the B button too early, you'll send the ball backwards and possibly hit someone's toes.
Oh wait!
This feels like the most skill-based game of the package because it required more than just shaking the Wiimote. The overall presentation here is nice too. The bowling alley looks nice, and around you you'll see the other Miis also bowling, and if you're playing with friends you'll see them behind you when it's not their turn watching you bowl, which seems like a small thing, but it helped give off this cool chill vibe of actually going out bowling with your friends. Bowling is probably the most fun game here single player wise. It's the first game so far that doesn't give off that feeling of, gosh, I wish I had more people here with me. Plus, why this game made me feel like a cool kid? By pressing any direction on the D-pad when the game is loading, you can change the color of your bowling ball. Instead of blue, you can have green, yellow, pink.
Isn't that exciting?
Now the game that perplexes me the most is golf. See, the reason Wii Sports found itself in my line of sight is when a couple months ago a bunch of my friends came over that I haven't seen in a while, and we all somehow, someway started playing Wii Sports, and most notably, spent time till 3 AM playing golf. See, here's the thing, I don't know how that happened because personally I'm indifferent when it comes to the golf game here. It's here, it's harmless, I'm not someone who hates on golf games, they can be fun especially if it's Italian. It's just not the most exciting or engaging thing to play sometimes. The most engaged I ever find myself is when I'm up to the 3rd hole, I try to see if I can get into this little island. Newsflash, I can't. But I can't ignore the fact that I witnessed with my own eyes 3 dudes spent till 3 AM excitedly playing this thing. Plus, I hear plenty of internet personalities praising golf as their favorite game of the package, so you know what? Maybe it's just a me thing. Now, if it sounds like I am hating on golf, I swear I'm not. I like it more than tennis. I'd knock out a game of golf if I'm playing Wii Sports already, but it's not necessarily something I turn the Wii on for. To play golf, you simply hold the Wiimote like a golf club and then press the A button, buttons, and swing. The strength of the swing is replicated in the game, and gosh, maybe the red swingly line just annoyed me. And hey, the scenery is nice. Let's jump to the last but certainly not least game of the package, boxing. Boxing here requires the Wii nunchuck to act as our second hand. To play this game, we just have to swing the controllers as if we are punching. Now honestly, just shaking the Wii remotes forward isn't going to accomplish anything. No, the game actually somewhat requires proper placed punching to try attack areas where the opponent is exposed. You can also put your gloves up to your face to guard your head or keep it low to block body shots. You can also shift the remote side to side to try to dodge upcoming attacks, and it does feel pretty sick when you dodge a punch and the game slows down for a second to emphasize it. Now sometimes the accuracy of the punches is a bit weird, like the game has these hard shots from the side that just happen whenever the game feels like it apparently, because whenever I try to actually attempt it, it never works for me. You gotta try to deplete your opponent's health until you knock them down, and sometimes these guys fall in grisly ways, and then you hear the ref count till 10, but sometimes they'll rise up. If you get knocked down, the way it usually goes is at first we just wait for our character to get up, but as the counting commences, you start to wonder if you're supposed to be doing something, and you just start shaking the controllers up and down.
Don't lie to yourself, we've all been there.
Like bowling, this is also pretty fun to play single player. With every opponent you beat, you get an even tougher one, which is pretty much the same thing with every other sport in the game. As we play, our level changes and our opponents are adjusted accordingly. Boxing is a lot of fun, and when those CPUs get challenging, the fights become intense and the countdowns get stressful.
So that's the 5 sports we get here with Wii Sports, but we're not done just yet. We still have one more thing to check out, and it's something I've always seen but never even cared to check it out.
Training and Wii Fitness. See, training I never gave a second thought to look at because it's fucking Wii Sport. Here are the controls. Boom, 76% of Metacritic. Why the hell do we need an entire menu option for this? Well, here's what is brilliant about Wii Sports. While it can be a very easy game to play that anyone can really play, it does still have some elements of skill, which is what training shows you. Like how to properly time hitting the tennis racket to dictate what direction the ball will go, going on home run derbies, or how to better aim our shots in either bowling or boxing. Training gives you 3 minigames for each sport that helps practice a certain element of each of the games. And honestly, a lot of these are really fun as minigames. We got the 100-pin bowling, which is always satisfying. We got this game where we have to dodge balls thrown at us by Matt, which absolutely inspired that soccer game from Wii Fit. And this tennis wall game where we must hit the target, but if we hit the wall, it slowly starts to collapse. And this game had no right being as fun as it was. Now Wii Fitness just throws you 3 random minigames from the training menu and then gives us our Wii Fitness age. This probably is somewhat of a precursor to Wii Fit, though I don't know how well this works cause I'm not sure how from bowling, tennis, and home run derby this game concluded that I have shit stamina. I'm pretty sure this is just a front to make the game look good to parents. Aw, this game's telling my kid to still enjoy the outside world. Imagine spending $250 on a system that tells you to not play it.
Well, that is Wii Sports, and did we learn anything today? Probably not. Like I said, everyone knows how good this game is, and to this day will surprise you with how much fun you can have with it. Sure, I did dog a little bit on tennis, baseball, and golf, but here's the thing. Tennis can be a bit dull in single player, but multiplayer is where it shows off its strengths. With baseball, I understand why they didn't add fielding because it would ruin the point of simple controls, but batting was a lot of fun. And with golf, forget I said anything. It is fun and it does require a lot of skill, which is a big plus for me. Add to that the intensity of boxing and the pure perfection that is bowling, and we have a pretty great package here. Oh, and let's not forget about the Wii training, something I regret that I missed out on back in the day. Wii Sports was awesome and helped curb any doubters that the Wii might have had regarding its motion controls. It was a really smart decision made by Nintendo to bundle this with every single Wii console, because they could have easily just charged $20 for this separately, or did the whole Wii Play thing where they bundled this with a Wii remote and sell it for $50. But instead, they gave this absolute treasure away for free, which is the craziest part. Now clearly they learned their lesson from that brutal mistake, cause what has Nintendo done since then?
So I'm not somebody who lost their mind and bought a Wii U, so I don't have much comment on Nintendo Land besides the fact that the game does look fun based on what I see on YouTube. But you see, it's its own bag of worms considering that calling Nintendo Land a packing game should kind of feature an asterisk considering you had to pay an extra amount for a deluxe version of the Wii U that features Nintendo Land because the base edition didn't come with it. But again, I'll wait till I lose my mind and buy a Wii U and Nintendo Land to further comment. What I can comment on is the Nintendo Switch. So 1-2 Switch was the Wii Sports to the Nintendo Switch. Well, actually, Nintendo Switch Sports was the Wii Sports to the Nintendo Switch. You know what I mean. A tech demo that showed off the capabilities of the Switch, which was a hybrid console with detachable Joy-Cons that had HD rumble. 1-2 Switch, as a game, was mildly barely okay. 1-2 Switch is 28 minigames where most of them only last a few seconds. That's only slightly more than a WarioWare game, and me. It's not as replayable, and after playing about maybe 3 times you've exhausted anything out of 1-2 Switch. But you know what, why am I complaining? It was free packing game that did somewhat show off what the Joy-Cons can. Wait, I'm so sorry, I'm checking my notes. I paid how much for this fucking game? 1-2 Switch was not a packing game. No, you had to buy this separately and it cost $40 fucking dollars. Absolute garbage pricing. Oh well, that is the theme of buying Switch games. Most of the time, it's not worth what you paid for it.
The Japanese businessmen!
We would like to play. Oh, come on!